She was never supposed to live. And I was never supposed to be there. Clint Eastwood's blood-soaked shirt said more than words ever could. In the middle of a crowded Chicago street, a gunman opened fire. People screamed, cars swerved, and right in the chaos stood a terrified 6-year-old girl frozen, seconds from death. Without thinking, Clint ran. One shot echoed and the world changed. The bullet tore through his shoulder as he shielded the child with his own body. Cameras caught the moment his knees hit the pavement. The girl clutched in his arms, unharmed. But here's the twist. Clint wasn't even meant to be there. He had shown up alone, undercover, tracking whispers of a human trafficking ring tied to powerful elites. And the girl? She wasn't lost. She was targeted. The food cart beside her wasn't random. It was the drop site. The truth is, Clint didn't just save a child. Clint lay in the hospital refusing pain meds, eyes locked on a single photo. The same girl he'd saved, now smiling beside him. But his focus wasn't on recovery. It was on a man caught in the background of the viral video wearing a suit, talking into his sleeve just seconds before the gunfire. Clint recognized him instantly. Victor Renz, a former intelligence contractor who vanished after being linked to a covert child smuggling operation in Eastern Europe. That's when Clint made a call that changed everything. Find out who paid Victor to be there. Within 12 hours, his team uncovered encrypted emails and a payment trail leading to a nonprofit claiming to rescue children, funded by Hollywood insiders and backed by a handful of suspicious politicians. Clint wasn't just chasing rumors anymore. He had evidence. The girl, now safe with authorities, whispered something that broke everyone's heart. He told me if I screamed, Mommy would disappear. Victor Renz didn't run. He hid in plain sight. Posing as a security consultant for a luxury real estate firm, he thought he was untouchable. Until Clint showed up. No cameras, no backup, just rage and resolve. Clint walked straight into the high-rise office where Victor was briefing a team and dropped a folder full of classified photos onto the conference table. Each image told a story: children, airports, nighttime transfers, all tied to Victor. The room fell silent. Clint stared him down. You picked the wrong kid and the wrong witness. But what shocked everyone most wasn't Clint's words. It was Victor's smirk. You think I'm the top? I'm just payroll. That line changed everything. It meant the rabbit hole was deeper. And when Clint handed the flash drive to the DOJ that night, he made sure it leaked to the press first. Suddenly, every news outlet was on fire. Twitter flooded with Clint Eastwood files. Congress called an emergency hearing. But the one thing Clint didn't expect? A familiar face from his past stepping forward with a confession that could expose the true mastermind. She walked into the press room with her head low, wearing the same necklace Clint had given her 15 years ago. Her name was Julia Marlowe, a former child advocacy lawyer and Clint's ex, until she mysteriously vanished from the public eye. Now, with cameras rolling and reporters holding their breath, she said just 6 words. I know who funded the pipeline. The room exploded. Clint watched from a private feed, heart racing as Julia exposed a chilling truth. The trafficking ring wasn't just protected by criminals. It was enabled by a network of elite donors, CEOs, and even senators. She handed over documents Clint never had access to, maps connecting orphanage raids to fake adoption agencies and financial statements that tied it all to one name: Senator Alden Graves. Clint's jaw clenched. Graves had been untouchable for years, the face of family values and child protection. But now his empire was crumbling, and then Julia dropped the final blow. Graves didn't just know, he ordered it. Clint stormed into the Capitol building the next morning, fists clenched, heart pounding. Outside, protesters chanted his name. Inside, cameras captured every step as he faced the man who'd hidden behind suits and handshakes for decades, Senator Alden Graves. Clint didn't flinch. You trafficked children behind policy, he said coldly. Graves laughed, but the sweat on his brow betrayed him. You think a washed-up actor can take down Washington? That's when Julia appeared behind Clint, holding a hidden wire. She had recorded everything, every threat, every payment, every victim's name. A senator tried to stop the broadcast, but Clint pulled out a flash drive. "This goes public either way," he warned. A dramatic pause. Silence. And then the feed went live. The nation watched as Graves stuttered, denied, then finally broke down on live TV. One sentence from Clint echoed across every screen. "Justice doesn't ask for permission." Graves was arrested. The network collapsed. Dozens of children were rescued. And Clint, still recovering from the bullet he took for that little girl, walked out of the courtroom with Julia beside him, as thousands erupted into applause. Would you risk your life to expose a truth the world is too scared to face? Comment below what you'd do if you had that flash drive in your hand.